we started like a lot of brewers. We started as home brewers. Me and Garrett met in 2008, I believe, when we were working at Westlake View Liquors. We both got a job at a high-end liquor store or a craft beer focused store, trying to get closer to the industry. We were at Dark Lord Day in 2009 and hanging out together and seeing the masses involved in the craft beer scene there really got us stoked about the idea of actually opening a brewery. Eventually that led us to Belgium, where we did a 3-month apprenticeship at Destruce Brewery with Urban Coutu, who at the time was the #1 brewer in the world on ratebeer.com. Then we really started out, that was where Pipeworks really was birthed in a sense, because that's where we developed the name. We did our first collaborative beers with a couple Belgian breweries out there, and so it gave us some real validity from our homebrew background coming into the industry. And then we started then began fundraising and pilot batches at home. And let's see, then by January of last year, we officially became a licensed brewery in the eyes of the federal government and the state. So now we're about 14 months into our brewery. And yeah, this is our little Pipeworks here. At the time we were getting started, we were looking for a way to keep the brewery, to own the whole brewery without having to take on financing. So we were looking something that was affordable. We were also looking for something that was within our ability range. We were looking for something that was going to be kind of analogous to home brewing in a sense. We hadn't worked on 30-barrel systems before. When we were working in Belgium, we were working on what we like to say were kind of glorified giant homebrew setups. And when we saw Psychobrew's systems, that was exactly what we were used to brewing on even in Belgium, was these large scale systems that were still using the same kind of principles as a homebrew system. And then we drove out to Psychobrew since it was close and local, and we liked the idea that the equipment was local. And we were able to see the equipment firsthand and know that it was something that we were going to be able to make great beer on. So it was an easy decision for us. Our inaugural year in 2012 was amazing. In that year, Rate Beer honored us with some really amazing accolades. We garnered the best new brewery in the world out of nearly 2,000 new breweries that opened worldwide. We also got best brewery in the state, which was that was an amazing honor to be up against some of these amazing breweries here in Illinois. It was really a great honor to be considered at our small scale to be the best, as judged by a lot of the raters worldwide. You know, we see our beers rated in Denmark, we see them rated, you know, in California, even though we barely distribute outside of, you know, Chicago proper. So it's been amazing to receive these accolades. We put a lot of heart and passion into our beers. It's not a job to us, it's a way of life. You know, we are brewers and we love doing this. All our staff here, we're really a family. We really don't have the ego of like the head brewer does this or, you know, this guy does that. It's like we're a team, and no beer gets made without every single one of those people as part of the project. So when we receive awards like that, it really is amazing for everybody. Like everyone knows, like whether or not you're just someone that works on the bottling line, you can be happy that when someone recognizes a beer that, hey, I put that beer in a bottle and I did a good job and I made sure that it wasn't oxidized and that it was, you know, everything was done to make sure that the consumer was going to get the best possible product. And to get recognition like that, to know that our hard work and our dedication is being paid off, and that the consumer is enjoying the fruits of our labor, I mean, that's the best thing we can ever receive. That's the best accolade ever, is just to see people enjoying our product, to see people on the internet saying like, wow, this is amazing. I had Ninja versus Unicorn for the first time and it's one of the best IPAs I've ever had. You know, that, you know, I can go to bed really happy every night knowing that like, hey, you know, we did that beer together and it's a great product that I'm really proud of. I think Psychobrew is a great option for small breweries today because A, it's American-made equipment. It's something that's really nice to get something that is local, that you can actually see the product before you actually go to purchase it. Whereas a lot of the equipment, whether it be on a small nanoscale or a large scale, is made in China, and you don't necessarily have the opportunity to go see it firsthand. And I think that's a huge plus, being able to go to Psychobrew's workshop and actually see this equipment in action and see it working. And, you know, having other breweries in the States that are using them and to be able to see what they're doing with these systems, it's a huge benefit to us to not be doing guesswork and not spend a great deal of money on a product that you're not sure about. So the quality is bar none. It's amazing equipment. We've been able to produce over 120 batches, and we double batch, so that's equivalent to about 240 batches within 14 months. And the equipment's held up. It's strong, wonderful equipment, and it's helped us to make amazing beer time and time again. Yeah, I remember when we had come to Psycho Brew to check out the equipment for the first time. You know, we drove up. It's a very small town in Belding, Michigan. We'd come from Chicago in the middle of, I think it was like November or something. It was incredibly snowy, and we're driving. We're looking on our GPS, have no idea where we're going, and we're going to this small town in the middle of nowhere, seemingly. And we go through the snowstorm. We can barely see anything on the road, and we come up to Chris's house, where Psycho Brew is manufactured in his garage, and we're like, okay, is this where we're going? And then we come into this garage, and it turns out to be this amazing little factory where Psycho Brew has its home. And that was the first time we got to see the equipment in action, and it was amazing. It was great to see the passion of Psycho Brew and see that it was, you know, something made in this small town by someone that really cares about what his equipment is going to be used for and the beer that it's going to make. It's affordable equipment that's made really well. It's simple to operate. It's not gonna bog you down with technical details, and it's gonna help you make really great beer. It's an affordable option for a small startup that wants to get their, you know, get a good start and use professional equipment without spending, you know, what could be considered professional money on equipment. So I think, you know, in the future we'll continue to use Psycho Brew as a pilot system within our brewery as we expand, and I would definitely recommend any small brewery to use the equipment. Hi, I'm BJ from Pipeworks Brewing Company, and I proudly use Psycho Brew in my brew house.